Alright boys, welcome back to another top 3 drop spot video. This is part of a series I have here on the channel where I hop in an aerial view and fully break down different drop spots for you, talking about the best ways to loot them as a solo, duo, trio, the rotation methods out of there. It's really in depth and you're going to learn a lot of information in this video about drop spots and rotations. With that said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you do hit that sub button. I'm not just telling you that, we're dropping videos on how to improve every weekday. We're streaming all the time over here. It's a great place to be. The whole actual community is non-toxic. You'll actually enjoy the spot. I'm telling you right now. With that said, let's hop straight into the video. Let's go. All right, lads. First things first. We're going to be looking at 3 different drop spots in this video. We're going to be looking at Pleasant Park because that's a great place, first of all, if you want to get kills. Then what we're going to be doing is taking a look at Lazy Lake. And then finally looking at Dirty Docks. Dirty Docks is probably one of the best places to play for placement in Season 7 and has been since this map dropped all the way back in Chapter 2 Season 1. With that said, let's start off talking about Pleasant Park. And just to add, all of these different places are going to be down below in the description. So if you want to go and watch a very in-depth video on them, the videos will be in the description. And the full playlist for literally every POI that's on the map right now will be at the end screen. So if you want to watch all the way through and then go and find a full in-depth POI breakdown of like Holly or Slurpy Swamp, whatever it may be, there's a full playlist waiting for you at the end. So let's hop straight into looking at Pleasant Park. Okay boys, so with Pleasant Park, what most people don't do is take a very in-depth look at things. I'm going to explain this to you very quickly. Most people land here, right? This is just for trios. This is just like, you know, one person here, another person here, and then your third player here. And that's a great close compact playstyle. But you have, what, 6 chests? And that's a great amount of chests, don't get me wrong. If you combo that with the floor loot, you're chilling. But it can be even better. And plus, don't forget, these are very contested spots right here. But if you did something like this with your trio and split it like this, okay, and take these 3 buildings instead of these 3, you're actually coming out with 5, 6, 7 chests. So that's one more chest. But it's also more impactful on one player. Because see, we're here. If someone was to land at this building, they get 1 chest. Okay, you get 3 here. Someone gets 2 here and someone gets 1 here. That's why I have the numbers going like that. So as you get more contested, because this spot right here is the worst spot to be in, because out of all of these buildings, this one is the closest to another building where someone might land that's not in your trio. So you can get rushed by someone from here who has 2 chests while you have a potential of 1 chest. That's a potential. Same for everything in here, but there's a potential of only 1 chest. So that means 1 out of 2 times this chest isn't going to be here, and then you've got to result to how many floor loot? 11. That's a lot compared to everywhere else. Like here only has 3 floor loot, I believe. 3 floor loot in this house, but again, 2 chests, and you have direct route to this house which has 3 chests. And even in duos, I'll show you the way to play in duos right now, but I want to just point out that up top, first of all, is less contested, so you're going to have to fight less people. The only building out of these 3 that seems to get contested a lot is obviously Doghouse, and there's no reason why. Look, it's got 3 chests. The only other building with 3 chests is down here. Now, just to make things a lot more clear, I'm going to just wipe everything off your screen right now because I'm pretty sure that was easy enough to understand. But if you're playing duos, that's for trios, you know, just land the back tree and then split this building with 1 player, this building with 1 player, this building with another player. But if you're contested in trios, what do you do? Well, what you do is you put 2 people. Let me get my color out. You put 2 people in here. So, you know, 1 and then I guess 2. I don't know what I was doing, but you get what I'm saying. Put 2 people in here and 1 in here. And that means if this building is going to be contested, you've got 2 players on your team in there. If they lose, it's on them players and it's not down to luck. If it's like a 2v1 situation, it shouldn't matter what gun he has. You should be able to win that. If it's 2-on-1 constantly, and I don't mean 1-on-1, then the enemy kills your teammate and then another 1-on-1. I mean 2 of your players has to jump on 1 guy at the same time. Okay, no homo, but you get what I'm saying. Then what you can do is in duos is do a similar thing. You don't want to touch this building in duos, trust me. You want to split this and you want to split this. Okay, and then when you boys loot, you guys want to be together and then push this. So I'm going to draw this in yellow. See what I'm saying? So now you have this whole back tree under your control. And again, it's the same thing. You're coming out with shield because you're going to kill people and, you know, health per kill and stuff. You're coming out with the loot value of 7 chests and you're getting 150 mats per player. So that means you're guaranteed at least 150 mats from killing each, by the way, in your duo. And when solos comes to it, you want to do the same thing again and just land on this back building right here, because in solos it's a bit more risky landing pleasant. It gives you the option to loot this house. Okay, if you land here, by the way, it's completely bad because you're in the middle. That means if someone lands on your left, you can't run to the right because there's going to be somebody here. Landing here though, it gives you way more options. If there's nobody in this house, you can run here, but if there is somebody here, you can run down to this house where it all started off when I was talking about this drop spot. Then if both of them are contested, you can go this way, you can go this way, and you can even just flank. You can keep going, by the way, there's loads of loot up there, or you can flank and go over to this. Okay, and then I'm going to try and scroll up right now. It's going to mess up everything on your screen, but you do have this up here, and there's a lot of loot here, and you can use that to just get off the map ASAP, or, you know, get very far away from Pleasant Park, or even go towards the bridge from hitting this, and you're chilling. See the way you can bounce out of Pleasant Park if you need to, and that's the best thing to do in solos if it's not working out, is to just bounce up out of there. With that said, if you want a full in-depth video, I said it in the intro, the link is down below, so you can go and watch a full Pleasant Park breakdown, and it's way more in-depth than this. It'll even tell you what buildings to land in, what buildings to loot, which buildings to push, way more than what I did in this video. This is just a brief overview, giving you some insight on how to loot it. Let's jump into the next location right now, boys. Okay, boys, I want to talk about Lazy Lake before we go ahead and talk about Dirty Docks. If you're here for a placement spot, Dirty Docks is by far your best bet, and it's the best way to get the champs, probably in the whole season, other than Stealthy Stronghold, because that's the best spot, literally full stop, on the map. I've done another video separate on that, and that leads me into what I want to say. You should probably subscribe. If you want more videos like this, talking about mechanics, rotations, we do it all on the channel. I'm a full-on coach here on the channel. Everything we put out here is free. So, with that said, let's talk about Lazy Lake. Most people in Lazy Lake tend to go to one of three places, or I should say two. And I'm just going to outline them in black. So we got here. Hey, that's a thick ass marker, bro. Here, here, and here. Yeah, in my personal just belief, they get contested. Here comes as a close second, but it doesn't, like, it's not as like, trust me when I say I've looked from an aerial view of different games from FNCS when I've gone back on VOD review files, or not VOD review files, replay files, and just fully looked at them. Trust me when I say that spot doesn't get contested as much, especially in the higher divisions. Just for some reason, I don't know what it is. I guess less loot. But here, these places tend to have one thing that's super overpowered about them. This spot, let me get rid of this. Yeah, I got rid of this tick marker. This one has high ground. I'm just going to put an arrow beside it for reference. This one has high ground over every building on the map. Therefore, if you land to get an AOR, you're getting free kills out of the air. Especially if you've got great aim, you can just take down everybody. And get them while they're looting. The common way to actually knock someone is to shoot someone off this roof right here. When they land right here for this chest, and you're up here, you can beam so easy. It's so free. And 9 times out of 10, even in the top tier lobbies, you're getting a free kill off that. So that's what this building has. But these two buildings also have something. This one has the most loot. Out of every building, I believe this one has the most loot. And that's just as far as I'm aware of it. But it also gives you the ability to full on dip south. You can rush this building without this building really knowing much about it. So that's overpowered. So you can go from here, get all this loot, kill all these. And when you have these two POIs on your hand, that's all the loot from here, plus health per kill, plus the materials. It's easy to take on high ground up here. But regardless of that, that's just one overpowered thing. That's if you want to play aggressive with it. The worst thing to do, I'm just going to get a red marker to point this out, is never just drive at this building and start ramping up. It's just not going to work out for you. I give you my word. So don't do that. Back to the yellow marker. What you can do, on the other hand, is full on flank around it. So if you wanted to play less aggressive, you can pull that flank off. And what I recommend doing, instead of just full flanking and then ramping up from here, what I recommend you to do is actually get up on this building. This is the second highest building, and then it's easier to take a fight because you can build up 3 or 4 high and then have an AOR fight and then get close. And that way, you're not actually having to go through the stairwell of the building. That's the worst. That's the absolute worst way to take a fight, is just go through the stairwell, because they can be above you, they can be below you. It's too easy to get boxed, and plus 90% of the walls are going to be either theirs or just the actual building's walls, so you have to break them to claim them. So you want to either come in from above or in at their layer. You don't want to go in from the bottom and work your way up the building. It's just not going to work out for you, because they instantly have high ground, and you don't want to give it to them that free. Also, if you get shit loot for somewhat, like, I don't know how you'd have shit loot coming out of here, But you can also go over here and take some of the many fishing spots when I put them on the map right now. Like actually a lot more than you think is right here. So that's a very fat W if you're struggling for shield or something like that. And you can probably pull out a spaz, but I wouldn't play for the chance of getting a spaz here. But, you know, it's possible. You can also actually, I only have to see that now when I put on the fishing holes. Over this side actually has a good few fishing holes as well. All down this side like this. I actually never knew that. That's something. You learn something new every day. And you have one chest. And you've got all that brick. So if you did ever want to just, you know, kill everyone here, and then dip, fully an option. Because that river, I believe, goes down. So you can start rotating down that way. That's what's so overpowered about this. This river brings you up. This river brings you down. So you can win in so many different ways if you wanted for rotation ability. And that's why it's so overpowered to pro players. And that's why I believe back in Chapter 2, Season 2, Mongrel did contest here for a while as a drop spot. Because it was that overpowered. And you avoid, back then anyway, you avoided people going from Adas's drum gun. And it still has that strong point that it just has a nice area around it. You know, you can go and even W key from landing here and pick up even more kills. Or you can chill out and start like using the rivers, play for passive to get your placement points. Talking about placement, let's hop over to Dirty Docks and fully break that down. Because that is probably the best spot on this whole list right now. Okay boys, so we're here in Dirty Docks and this is probably one of the most overpowered drop spots. I know I've said it a lot throughout this video, but I genuinely mean it. It's so good. I have a full breakdown on this. Like I said, they're all in the description. So if you want to see more in-depth video on Dirty Docks, you can. But I'm going to try and give you as much information as I can in this video because the POI breakdowns are 20 plus minutes long. This is just a video showcasing all these different drop spots and trying to give you a bit of information about them. So that's my whole play here. But this spot is definitely something you want to contest in trios. Back here is completely overpowered. And also contest either this building. Actually, if you can, this is what I was doing this in trios, by the way. Back last season when I played heavy competitive and this was my drop spot. I'm just going to get 3 random colors here and point out these 3 videos. This is our 3 drop spots, but just listen to me, okay? If you have one player playing like this, okay? Like this. They're all connected. If you've one player, I'm just going to just draw like a little black circle. Okay, just representing one player landing here. So one player on your team lands at each one of these locations. Your trio now occupies this much space. You know what I'm saying? That is more than half of Dirty Docks right there. Or at least it's more than a third. And if you own all that, look how much loot you're picking up. And if I put on floor loot spawns as well, you're picking up a lot of loot. On top of that, ammo boxes, picking up a lot of ammo. Any weapon-o-matics? You're not getting any weapon-o-matics there. Vending machines? No. Upgrade benches? You get 1 upgrade bench. Anything else I need to be looking for? No slurp barrels. Actually, there is supply crates here, but I don't think they're up there. I swear there was supply crates down here, no? There is a UFO here, but that's only if you're playing pubs. So I don't think anyone's really interested in that. But again, just this loop here of putting one player in each position. And if things don't go to plan, you can always put 2 people here. Hey, I don't know why that marker went super thin, bro, but I don't like that. You can always put 2 people here and reduce this. Get rid of this because this is the furthest one away. If you're like, again, if you're running with duos, put 1 here and 1 here. If you're running solos, just 1 at the back building. But splitting it like this is way more overpowered because you guys are super close. So if someone gets contested in this building, you can rush over very quickly and hopefully save his life, or vice versa. If you get contested in this building, you can guys are just, you know, you're like glue. You can just work together. Not to mention, again, fishing holes with here is something that's just completely overpowered as well. Let me pull that up. No, wrong tool. Where the fishing holes at, bro? Fishing holes. Zoom out for a bit. Let's just see how much we get overall. You got 4 down here, 5 and 8. If you want to go up that far, you got 8. But like 5 down below, or 4 down below and 5 above is pretty much chilling. And let me just show you something that makes this spot overpowered, especially when it comes to placement heavy tournaments. Like if you don't want to fight in FNCS, Dirty Docks is the place for you. Let me just get this off, all this stuff off. We don't want anything on the map. No spawns. Bro, we don't want no Bybit. Go away off my screen. Okay. No, too zoomed in. Right, we're going to have to go from this kind of a view. I know it might be a bit small on your screen, but just bear with me. It's going to be worth it. So if we've Dirty Docks outlined in... No, outlined in blue. Let's go. This is our POI. First of all, let me just put a red just circle of kind of death in the middle of the map right now. This is like hot, super hot spots that you kind of just want to genuinely avoid. You know it yourself, but anything like that. I only put in half of Bony Burbs because most of the fights in Bony Burbs just come around here. Just that's what I noticed, bro. We've been playing super intensive W keying, and I've been using this strategy to pull off 21 bombs, 26 bombs consistently. No shit. And if you want to catch any of those games, make sure you're watching us live on stream, bro. We'll be popping off in arena recently, especially in trios, man. We're champs pulling off 21, 26 kill games, and it just feels amazing. I'm not used to being that good, bro. And we're doing it consistently. But back to what I'm saying. This spot is death. If you want W key games, here is where you want to go. It's pure crazy, and most of the time, especially in champs, because everybody is thinking the exact same. So if I pull up, blue is going to be airdrop spot, but if I pull up some other drop spots I was talking about in this video, such as Pleasant Park, Lazy Lake, and let's just say Holly Hedges, Believer Beach. Okay, let's say this black line is zone. Okay, I'm literally just going to draw a full-on random zone right now. So something like, I don't know, like just like this. That seems like a pretty honest first zone if I'm not capping, okay? Now, when you're playing, let me take out yellow now. Right, you land at Pleasant Park, you clean it up, you're feeling chill about yourself, whether it's solos, duos, or trios. You're feeling a bit of momentum. You've got 3-4 kills behind your back. If you're playing trios, you might have 10 kills behind your back. What are you gonna do? You're going to play more aggressive. And probably the best bet for you, especially with this zone, you're not going to be like, I'll go Craggy because that's our zone. You're not going to be like, I'll go over here, that's our zone. Unless you're very smart, you would probably rotate in like this, play dead side, clean up corny, and everybody rotating in. But that's only what an intelligent player would do. If you're talking Div 7 players, which are absolute psychos, they're going straight down to Bony Burbs. Believer Beach, okay, you have to probably pulling off a 15 kill game right now. Where are you going to go? You're not going to Coral. You would like to go to Pleasant because you could get a cleanup in Pleasant if you rotate across, but it's not in zone. You're going into Bony Burbs. Or at worst shot, you're going down low. I'm not going to put that marker in. Okay, Holly Hedges comes. You might go Weeping Woods if you're playing a bit more passive, but you're like, no, let's go into Bony Burbs. So there is options. I'm going to put in another color for alternative, just, I guess, decisions. What we use? A bit of gray, okay? Holly Hedges could go down to Weeping Woods. Believer Beach could rotate down to Weeping Woods. But when you just keep an eye on the yellow lines, Weeping Woods, bro. If you've cleaned up in Weeping Woods or you've landed Weeping Woods, you are going down to Slurpy Swamp. Or if you're having a good vibe, again, you're rotating up to Bony Burbs. So you can see that a good few of these is leading into Bony Burbs. And then again, if you've even landed Lazy Lake, where are you going, bro? Where are you going? You've cleaned up Lazy Lake. You are going to take this stream like this, or again, take the gray option, or you're just going to, just find yourself going in here. Now, what do all of these things have in common? These are hot drop spots. These are stacked spots for the most part. Holly Hedges, you can get stacked, bro. That's where we dropped our 26 kill game. So, when you take a look at all of this, they're all going towards this hotspot for W keying, for picking up kills. And look, I'm not being 100% biased saying everybody from these spots is going to go in here. I've put the alternatives down in the grey line. That's where they would go. But if you're thinking in a kill mindset, and anybody who's landing at these locations in Div 8, Div 7 is playing a W key playstyle. If they weren't, they would land Steamy Stacks, Stealthy Stronghold, Coral Castle, Retail Row. But they're not. They're landing here because they want kills. They're W keying. So when they go to all of these yellow spots, they're all going to fight for starters. They're just going to keep, like, people who come in here, this is just where the zone is, they're going to keep wandering up. They're looking for kills. So you're going to find everybody is in here. And now watch how I link this back to Dirty. Most people are just going to rotate in like this, and they're here. You get me? And don't, like, Steamy Stacks has to rotate in here as well. So does Craggy Cliffs. I'm just pointing out a few. They're all going to rotate in towards this zone. And the first place they're going to reach is Corny. So you have to be either prepared to hold them in Storm, prepared to jump on them as soon as they're looting up Corny, or third party them in a fight, or you're just going to be the product of that where they actually attack you. But with Dirty Docks, you have such an overpowered method because of the water. And don't even say in the comments down below that you can't pull off a rotation like this and go in up this stream and you're in here on the bottom of zone. Nobody tell me that they can't do that. That is fully doable if you wanted to play super passive and avoid the whole lobby until endgame. If you're not confident in your mechanical skill, don't tell me that's not doable. I used to play like that, and I can tell you it's fully doable. And that's how I have all this knowledge, because I used to not be as good as I am mechanically right now. Definitely not as best as I can be, but better than I ever was. And that's the way I used to play, and I got that rotation strategy down. So if you ever tell me that's not doable, I'm telling you it is. It's fully doable. And even again with Dirty Docks, if you wanted to, again, maybe rotate up to this river on a boat, come back in up the top. Okay, you're here now. What can you do? Or even not. Let me cut off. No, bro, I wanted to cut off this. Let me get this blue line. You use this, go down the river. Now you have the option of, okay, you know corny is going to be stacked. Let's fully avoid corny. Boom. You just pull a bit more right. Because of the boat, if you rotate early, you can pull a bit more right, avoid corny, and then send yourself down somewhere in here into no man's land where you're chilling in zone. And you can just wait for the next zone, and you can just chill in the bush, play however you want to play, get in cars, go for more kills, box up, whatever it is, man. You play you want to play. Or you can just, keep tunneling your way down south, because this is where Deadside is going to be. That's what I wanted to point out in this video. I said it to someone in the comments a few weeks ago that I wanted to point out and show you how to identify Deadside. Deadside's down here. This whole section of zone. Okay, anywhere in here is dead zone or Deadside. Why? Because why would Lazy Lake rotate down? People who landed Lazy Lake are there for kills, like I've been saying. They're going to rotate towards where they can get more kills. But down here is not where they can get more kills. So you, from Dirty Docks, just play Deadside if you go down this way. You rotate down, you're in here, you're on Deadside. You will probably avoid 90% of the lobby and definitely survive till 20 or 30 players left without seeing anybody. I guarantee you, I shit you not. If I had the time right now, I'd hop in and prove my point. But that's the power of Dirty Docks. Again, if you don't know what I just did, I showed you one way you can play semi-passive, you can play ultimate aggressive, or you can rotate all the way down south. And this is guaranteeable every way. Dirty Docks is rarely in zone. So you either have 3 options. I'm going to try and write right now. 1 is to stay. 2, that is terrible writing. But 2 is to, I guess, passive. Then 3 is aggressive. Or, yeah, stay, passive, then opposite of passive is aggressive. Oh my god, I'm actually skilled at this. This is some real skill right here. Like, who wants to go pro in Fortnite? Then, a product of passive and aggressive is, I'm not even going to write it, it's just passive-aggressive playstyle, and that's this top rotation right here, where you rotate in the top. You're not looking for kills, but if a team finds you up here, which they more than likely will, you're prepared to fight. You're not trying to fully avoid and sit in a bush or box all game. You just don't want to be in a quad party and just getting slaughtered. That's the benefits of Dirty Docks. That's why I chose that as my drop spot. That's why a lot of other pro players chose it as their drop spot. And with that said, this is the end of the video. I'm going to leave you right into the end screen where you can go and watch a full POI breakdown playlist. And this is where I spend 20 minutes individually breaking down one POI, not just scattering between them all. So if you like any sorts of videos like this and you don't have the time to watch the playlist, just make sure you subscribe, because we're going to be dropping daily videos over here from now on. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.